Hi and welcome back to Beyond Worlds. I am here today in the forest location where we saw the White Stag on New Year's Day, and we're going to investigate the area. We've recently found out that there is a herd of white deer that hang around in this area. So come with us while we investigate the area. So we are coming through the forest, one of Thetford, the largest pine planted forest in the UK. And look at this amazing little trails. On New Year's Day, while travelling home through the Brandon Road near Thetford Forest, my family and I witnessed something unforgettable. A white deer, a stag, standing near the edge of the forest. The sight felt unreal, almost dreamlike, as though the forest itself had briefly revealed one of its hidden spirits. Across Britain and Europe, the white stag and white deer have been seen for centuries as magical creatures, symbols of mystery, transformation, and messages from the old world. White deer are rare, but they are real animals rather than mythical creatures. Their unusual colour is usually caused by a genetic condition. Some are albino, meaning they are completely lacking in pigment and often have pink eyes and noses. Others have leucism, a condition where the coat becomes white or pale while the eyes remain dark. These deer can survive in the wild, although their bright colouring makes them easier for predators and hunters to spot. In places like Britain, sightings of white deer are uncommon, enough that many communities consider them special or sacred. Because they are so rare and ghost-like in appearance, ancient people often believe they belong to another realm, a bridge between the human world and the spirit world. Around Thetford Forest, however, over the decades, there have been sightings of white deer in herds travelling through the meadows, the heaths, and the woodland. Thetford area is considered to be sacred, and there is many a mythical creature and a haunting and spiritual druid work that goes on around the forest and the fields. The white stag appears in many Celtic and medieval legends. In old stories, it was never an ordinary animal. It often appeared in moments of great change, leading hunters or kings deep into enchanted forests, where they would encounter magic, hidden truths, or the other world. One of the most famous stories connected to the white stag comes from the legends of King Arthur. In Arthurian mythology, the white stag symbolised the sacred quest. Knights who chased it were drawn away from the safety of the court and forced to face trials that revealed their true nature. The stag represented destiny itself, impossible to fully capture. The white stag also appears in Celtic folklore connected to the Druids. Ancient forests were believed to be sacred places filled with spirits, fey beings, and gods of nature. The stag, with its antlers resembling tree branches, symbolised the forest king and the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. White animals especially were believed to come from the other world, carrying warnings, blessings or messages from the gods. In medieval Britain, forests belonged largely to kings and nobles. Hunting deer became both a sport and a display of power. Gamekeepers and huntsmen protected royal forests and organised great hunts. Yet, even among hunters, the white stag was treated differently. In the 12th century, King David I of Scotland was an avid hunter. The story of King David and the White Stag is a celebrated Scottish legend, explaining the founding of Holyrood Abbey in Edinburgh. It recounts how the king was saved from a charging stag by a miraculous vision of a glowing cross. If you are looking at the White Hart Inn in Edinburgh's historic Grass Market, the name commemorates King David's encounter. The tribute, the pub stands near the ancient royal hunting grounds, and the connection, it was named specifically to honour the legendary White Hart stag that spared the king's life and sparked the creation of Holyrood Abbey.
So we have come to a bit in the forest where there's a clearing, a proper trail, probably made by humans, probably made by the deer. So we're going to follow the deer trail through the forest and see if we can find any of the white deer. White deer have actually been around here for quite some time. People used to see a white stag that used to stand by the golf course on the Brandon Road, and he was quite proud of himself, as it were, as he waited for his females to walk across the road. And other people have also witnessed herds of them by Elvedon. All these lovely pine cones. Love them. It's an absolutely beautiful area, and because now we're in May, everything's quite green and becoming luscious. We'll see what we can find while we're out as well. Oh, I can see a new oak. Is it an oak? No. Yeah, it is. I'm sure it is. It's a new oak sprouting from the ground there. Look. Eee. Things that you find in here. You can see this has been clawed out. Oh, look. You can see, look, the woodlouse. Made their little nest in there. Look how big this tree trunk is. Wow, look at this big boy. You know, they say humans are very noisy, which we are, because if you listen, you can barely hear anything apart from the chirps of the birds. But I come in and it's crash, boom, bang. Look, I wonder how they got broken up there, that pulled down some of these branches. Like someone swung on them. But some of them have fallen also, because the forest doesn't get much light and some of the trees don't get the nutrients that they need.
Bigger branches just crashing through.
we will more likely see any deer herds grazing, because it's cooled off now, and so they'll probably more likely be out more in the open, but they use the forest to get around, so they can't be seen in stealth mode, as it were. So we are heading towards another opening. Obviously this area is used by people daily on hikes and walks, and there are a lot of people that use the trail with their horses as well, so we have to be extra vigilant in case anyone's around with their horses. We make sure we put the dogs straight back on their leads, as we should. Look at these beautiful ferns. They're now opening up as the light comes back into the forest, and they'll curl up as the light dims, keeping in their nutrients. I've got hay fever too. Look at that big bad boy over there then. Look how big he is. Oh, look at this lovely moss. Here it goes, start going hyperactive, and my brain just like goes everywhere. I have to be careful, we have to be careful in case we see any snakes as well, because there are adder about at the moment, and it's mating season. But look at this bad boy. It's huge. Oh, I love the moss. You can see all, some more brambles and that coming alive, can't you? Is there a horse down there?
Yeah, the horse down this way.
Oh yeah, there's a horse. She's coming this way. We need to put these on a lead. Yeah. Come on, come. We'll put these on a lead now because horses. Right, I'm not actually sure, but I think I've seen, hang on, apart from getting tangled up down here. Oh, more tangled. Right, I've actually seen, I think, part of a badger set dug into the ground, but they've covered it up with some sticks and bits. So let me just come over. I'm not going to take you all the way over there, but I am kind of going to show you like the area. Maybe I'm being prejudiced, but I think we live in the most beautiful area in the world, the UK. I mean, this is just Norfolk where I am. I shouldn't say just Norfolk, this is Norfolk, Suffolk, and this is the views that we get just through walking through the forest into the meadows. I don't know if you can hear this, but if you listen very quietly, you'll hear, which I haven't heard for ages, a cuckoo. So they are doing logging here at the moment. It smells fantastic, but what they're doing is taking away some of the pine forest so the sunlight can get in, and then they replant some younger pines to take over, and in another 20 years they'll do exactly the same. We are heading down this way towards the river, we haven't seen any signs of deer, or haven't seen any rabbits. All we've heard is birds, and obviously seen a badger set. But so basically we're just still wandering around, wondering where and when we're going to see anything. So this is what happens when we have lots of dry weather in this country and strong winds. Obviously it must happen to you as well, but you can see here that a few of the silver birches have literally toppled over. I'll show you some extra footage. You can literally see here our sandy soil, and when I talked about Croxton and the sandy soil, this is all through Norfolk and Suffolk. We have quite sandy soil, so when it becomes arid and dry and then we have strong winds, the roots just literally break in the ground, and as you can see we'll get weaker trees just fall to the ground, and it's very dangerous. That's why they tell us when there's strong winds around and storms and it's been quite dry weather, you keep out of the forests. They're logging here at the moment as well, so we're keeping away from the logging. But what happens is when they log, they usually take away the old pine trees, let some of the light into the forest, which is really healthy and beneficial to all the other shrubbery around, and then they replant the pine. So in 20 years time they'll do all this again, and these will be furniture. This will go on to people's log burners, all sorts this is used for. It's quite amazing. So a little story I was going to tell you as well. A couple of years ago I was walking through the forest, and I did a video on Croxton. I think probably a year ago I did a video on Croxton, and I was talking about some of the encounters that I have experienced in other people, and a man from the military reached out for me, and he said he'd served in other countries and obviously was used to camping out in areas, but he said he'd never been scared really in his life. I think he's in his 30s or 40s. I'm not actually sure. He didn't tell me his age. I don't really know much about that. But he said the worst experience he ever had was camping out here at Santam Downham. He set up his tent in the forest, and he'd never heard the strange noises that he heard during the night. He literally wanted to pack up his tent and leave, but he stuck it out till morning. But he said the sounds that he heard in this forest down here at Santam Downham, he'd never ever heard in his life. And he'd camped in many areas in the UK and around the world. He said he experienced the strangest things happening in the night, the movement around his tent and the strange noises. I think these are silver birch. They're youngsters, and obviously this one's a large one. But there's some more downs trees as well. That might be another silver birch. Remembering that this is all nearly heathland, really. It's only that people have actually planted most of these trees across Thetford Forest and most of East Anglia, because this is quite a sandy, chalky soil. It's great if you want to make clay, because we have lots of clay deposits as well. But can you imagine what can hide out here in the forests?
Many old stories warned that hunting a white stag would bring strange consequences. Some hunters who pursued it became lost forever in enchanted woods. Others encountered spirits or found themselves transformed by what they saw. In folklore, the white stag was often not meant to be killed. It was a guide rather than prey.
The soil is here. So I wasn't joking. This is what our county is like, Norfolk and Suffolk. It was a barren wasteland. That's how it is mentioned in the Doomsday Book.
Because of the nectar.
Some modern spiritual traditions and interpretations of Celtic folklore believe the return or sighting of a white deer and eagles symbolises the awakening of ancient energies within Britain. In Druid-inspired beliefs, animals were often seen as messengers tied to the land itself.
Hello!
Many people today connect the white stag to the return of magic in the imagination of Britain. The revival of folklore, interest in the fae, respect for nature, and remembrance of the old gods of the forests, rivers, and skies.
How do you know what it is? Pringles! We were just saying how much rubbish there wasn't. And now, so yes, I still clear up my rubbish as I'm going. Other people's, that is. You won't be able to see really how steep this is, but this is quite a steep hill. I've been to the forest, back to the car I'm afraid, because we haven't got a lot of time today. So now we're on the other side of the track where I showed you they'd replanted some of the silver birches, because this is the other side of it. And now we're going uphill, and here's where they've deforested. They've taken away some of the big trees as well, some of the big ones. It looks like oak. Oh, that's a fern tree. And some pines over there. But we were just saying that we haven't actually found any deer scat or rabbit. And we've been seeing a lot of baby rabbits when we're driving around. Not too many, I mean we've seen like 2 or 3. But we haven't seen any scat, even in our own woodland. Is Sean. He's picking up rubbish for me. Thank you, Sean. But yeah, we're going to head back towards the car now. We've literally only just seen, well, we've seen squirrel, some birds, seen no rabbits,
Horses.
no deer. We've seen horse, we've seen some ponies. But we're not going to go across the river today because there are a lot of people out on their horses today, and we don't want to go too far towards the picnic area because there are a lot of people out and about today, so we don't want to get in their faces with a camera.
Seeing the white deer on New Year's Day felt symbolic because New Year's marks beginnings, change and reflection.
That's one of the bird
In folklore,
boxes.
encounters with white stags often happen at turning points in life or at moments when people are searching for meaning. Whether seen as a rare genetic wonder or a spiritual symbol from ancient stories, the white deer continues to hold a unique place in the human imagination.
It's absolutely beautiful up here. Though you can see, I'm not sure if they're hazel. I'm guessing that's hazel that's fallen over there from the dry arid weather that we had, and then the wind blew real hard. Yeah, it looks like hazel that's fallen over there, look, on its side. The hazelnut tree. But yeah, isn't that beautiful? There's a lot of trees that have fallen over that they've had to cut up. We've picked up a little bit of rubbish actually. It's very concerning around the areas where they've been actually working. I'm hoping it's not the workmen and just people passing through, but they should still respect nature. Leave everything as you find it. But yeah. Oh, another bottle there. That's been there a little while, but it's covered in moss. Really, what you found? Good man. Come on you. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy, you're so cute. You're so cute. So we're heading for that opening up there in the trees. The dark tunnel up there. We haven't been able to find anything so far. You see their tracks where they've been using their machinery to go into the woods and park up. But we're using the trails today because we have the dogs with us, and the likely event of one of them getting bitten by an adder or ticks is quite high at the moment, and we don't want that to happen. Oh, oh, and a plastic bottle and some glasses. They will go in my recycling bag. Thank you, babe. What's the old saying? I'm the king of the castle, you're the dirty rascals.
In forests like Thetford Forest, where old roads cut through ancient woodland, it's easy to understand why people once believed the woods held hidden worlds. For a brief moment, seeing the white deer felt like stepping into one of those old tales, a reminder that mystery still exists in the modern world.
There's a dead tree in there that... Look how big this one is as well. That is an old pine. Oh, we're coming up towards the road now. I think we're coming back to our track now. I don't actually think that we gave you... Well, there's not much of an investigation done today, but we just wanted to show you the area. And if we had bumped into anything, it'd have been absolutely amazing. I mean, it could have been anything really. But we mainly got some footage of squirrels and birds and deforestation. Oh yeah, and we got some horse and pony. But yeah, and some rubbish. Lots of, well, more rubbish than any animal life, which is a bit sad that we got. But obviously there's much more animal life and foliage, flora. But yeah, it's nice to get out as well, soothe your head, get out in nature. The best healing remedy for all sorts of things, especially mental health. Get out and explore in nature. So yeah, we're coming to the end now.
In the trees, for a moment, the world feels suspended between past and present. Science explains how such creatures exist, but folklore explains why they matter. For thousands of years, humanity has looked into the forests and imagined hidden worlds, watching from beyond the trees. I am Tanya. This is Beyond Worlds. I hope you have enjoyed watching, and I hope to hear and see and speak to you soon. Bye.